Start at 2:04, our special meeting for Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Called order, and first up is public comment. I know we have our tax assessor, Carol Johnson, would like to make public comment on our only item, which will come up next.
Thank you, sir. Your action item today is, when I'm going to speak on public input, involves your action item today. And if I could pass these, have somebody pass these to the commissioners.
That's the bailiff duties, man.
The reason you're issuing this refund today is because of public-private partnerships. And I don't have a problem with public-private partnerships. What I do have a problem with is, just like what caused the refund that you're going to be approving, is entities that are making decisions and not asking anybody else how it's going to affect them. They're not making you aware that they're having this public-private partnership agreement. Your revenue's going to be affected by it. And so I proposed a bill. I would like y'all to consider adding this to your legislative agenda, and there's features of it you might not be interested in. What I did in this 89R 2162 was, number one, we have a lot of governments that are sitting on a lot of property. And the churches and other charitable organizations are only allowed to take property off the tax roll for a certain amount of time. So I propose in the first part of this bill to require government to be held to the same standard as others with regard to tax exempt status. If you don't agree with that, I have no problem with that part of this proposal being removed from that. But if the property isn't developed within 3 years, you lose your tax exempt status. To some extent, that could hurt you if you're land buying in an area that you know is going to grow. We know that schools do that. But Friendswood United Methodist Church bought property and took it off the tax rolls for years and years and years and never developed that property. So do we want to have that happen? Let's get back on the tax rolls. That could be considered part of your investment into the future if you have to pay taxes on it. The other part of it would require informed consent of any other governmental entity affected by a public-private partnership. So you would not only be informed, you would have the right to sign into it, participate in it, or not. So in the instance of the cruise terminal, you could have decided, no, there's no benefit to us, we want to continue to receive our tax dollars. So that's what this legislation is drafted would change. So I hope that you consider that for your future legislation. I think that I included in all of your packets, this is a listing as of 2023 of the tax exempt property on Galveston Island, not counting schools and churches. That when you look at it, it's kind of shocking. All of this raw land could be developed as a private-public partnership and be totally removed from the tax rolls, and we have no control over it under federal law. But I think that this is very interesting and look list to look at. And thank you.
Yeah, we were concerned about our wording not allowing us to discuss what she's talking about. So she's in public comment period, so we can't really discuss it with her, although I conceptually have no objections with anything she said. It's not here for discussion. So because our notice was simply to approve the refund in excess of $2,500.
Right.
So with that, I'll make a motion to approve our consent item.
Well, I got some comments. So y'all know we've sued Royal Caribbean.
Correct, just limit them to the refund amount.
Well, that's
That's
a good discussion about the refund item.
yeah. So they are asking for this money to be refunded to them from like a 2022. The law changed in September of 2025 with regard to interest and overpayments or what is the word? Payments.
All refunds, yes, sir.
We'll say it again, all refunds. But I don't think, if we refund this money, we're doing it out of good gesture, because I don't believe that, first I believe that the 2022 law applies to this money that we are holding. It wasn't until the 2025 change that Royal Caribbean asked for this refund. I guess conceptually, I don't have a problem with sending it back, but practically, I want them to know that don't put it back to your general fund, keep it in your drawer, because we're going to be getting it back. But I don't even know why we'd send it back.
Is it your belief that we are not obligated to refund this money?
The only reason, yes. The only thing that has prevented me from refunding this is under consolidated tax collections under Section 6 of the tax code. You have to approve all refunds over $2,500. that law did recently change, and I actually wrote that legislation, so I'm very familiar with it, but those laws don't go retroactive. So at the time that this change occurred, I was able to say, sorry, Commissioners Court doesn't approve this, and until they approve the issuance of this refund, we're not sending it. They in November applied, sent in an application for the refund, and we felt it was in everybody's best interest, particularly with your lawsuit coming forward, to go ahead and send it back, as it was the type of change it was, that those funds would typically be refunded. The only reason it came to Commissioners is because of the amount and consolidated collections.
Can we authorize the refund but not compel you to make the refund?
Can you authorize?
Authorized action, but if you don't believe it's required, can we authorize the refund but not require you to make the refund?
If you want authorize a refund, I have nothing, there's nothing to stop me from sending that at that point. That's the only thing that's stopping it now, because it's almost an automatic refund. If this refund was $2,000, we would send them the money without thinking about it.
Okay.
And this is the second of 2 refunds. We had sent them another one for $145,000, I think, of the month before. This one really got our attention, and so we hung our hat on the fact that you said no to this.
My understanding is if we don't send it back to them and they win, then we might owe them interest.
Yes.
If we send it back to them and we win, then they will just return it back to us. So what we're doing is saving on potential interest lost if they win in court.
And I would concur with your statements, except that I'm not even sure that interest, we would owe interest, but out of an abundance
So
of
I
caution.
think that's why we're doing this.
Okay. Yes.
Just in case, if we do lose, we're not charged extra interest on the payment.
This is a goodwill effort.
I would agree with that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve our goodwill. Motion passes 4-0. Commissioner Armstrong is absent today, and we are out at 2:11.